Bush Radio.
Bush Radio. Bush Radio.
Bush Radio.
Your real talk radio.
Daganan kilo bejanin kom lo moham di betamaso sanalom muasa benge kaputo yeah.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo.
There was a Richard Gbadebo. He is no more. But let me tell you, Richard Gbadebo is a symbol of honor. As I talk to you, his name has been written on the wall of honor to represent the valor, the spirit of industry in a young boy who went to work and never returned. Richard Gbadebo has a sister, or he had a sister. No, he has a sister because his name has been written on the wall of honor. Those whose name are written on that wall, they don't die. They only depart. Adesewa, how are you this morning?
I am very well. Good morning, sir.
Richard is no more.
It's no more.
The house is cold. Your mom cries. Your dad mourns, and I can see pain written on your face. What was it like when he left home that day?
Okay, when he left home that day, of course it was the usual, because we didn't expect he won't come back home. So it was the usual feeling of, oh, he has gone to work and he would be back.
He was a student of the University of Ibadan.
Yes, a 300 level student of European Studies.
Why did he go to work?
Okay, he went to work because he doesn't want to sit at home. Because he has been home for a while and it doesn't seem like schools would be resuming soon. So he just decided to go and get something doing instead of sitting back at home.
Keep the mind busy.
Yes.
He was a strong man?
Of course he was, a really strong man.
He worked with which company?
Henkel, detergent.
What did they say happened to him at work?
Okay, they said he was crushed to death by one of the machines he was working with.
Moshood Adewale, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Edmund, it's good to see you today.
Moshood Adewale is of the Alliance for Surviving COVID-19 and Beyond, ASCAB, or your state. ASCAB is interested in this story.
Yes, exactly.
Why is ASCAB so interested in the demise of Richard?
Because we believe in fighting for justice.
What has justice got to do with this?
Because the way this Richard died, it was so painful to all of us. Because if not because of the failure of Nigerian state, we don't expect this young star to die just like that, being crushed by a manufacturing machine. It's very painful. So we need to seek justice for him.
And ASCAB, through a chamber partnered by Femi Aborishade,
yes,
is on this matter.
Exactly, sir.
Segun Adesokan, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Thank you very much, Edmund Obilo.
I've read your write-up about the death of this young man. Yeah. Why are you so pained?
I feel greatly pained because we just few weeks ago, it's barely a month, when we lost one of our brightest youngsters, when Nigeria lost one of its brightest stars in military area combat in the name of Tulokwe Arutile a few weeks ago. And now we are being treated to another shocking news of another promising Nigerian who just died out of some tragic circumstances surrounding his workplace. I feel so outraged that this mustn't be. And I think it's high time for every well-meaning Nigerian to rise up. It's not about Richard alone. There are 1,000,001 Nigerians out there whose lives are hanging in the balance, who don't even know whether they will survive today's work or not. And at the same time, we need to be very careful. We getting to a point in our national life whereby we are almost losing our sense of humanity. When you pick up a paper in the present day Nigeria, when you flip through the pages, you see 50 dies, whatever, 40 killed, and do you know the reaction that follows? We just flip through the page as if nothing happens. This has gradually become a very unusual culture that is about to begin to get ingrained into our subconscious life. And I think we must stop it. We don't necessarily have to be a relative of Richard before we speak up. We don't know the next door victim. And that is why every Nigerian should rise up. And I sincerely want to thank the effort of the Oyo State government. As we speak, I know the company has been shut down. And I want to sincerely appeal that this matter must be fought to a reasonable conclusion. If it's going to remain short forever, let it, so be it.
Segun Adesokan is the founder of youth-focused civil society called BANY, Better Agenda for Nigerian Youth. Adesewa.
Yes, sir.
He was buried yesterday.
Yes, he was.
How do you feel?
Well, I don't know what to say. It's such a very painful one because up to yesterday, it actually still felt like a dream. Like, no, he was actually going to wake up. So not till he was buried, then I had to wake up to the reality of things that he is no more. And it's such a very painful one because this is someone we have stayed together now. We've been together for over 20 years. And we do things together. We stayed together in school. So I can't imagine getting his figure, getting the moments we've shared together off my head. Because they keep coming back and I don't know. But really, God is in control, is going to comfort us.
What do you miss most about him?
He smiles. He smiles so much. I mean, no matter how hungry he gets or anyone gets at him, that smile has actually saved him from so many things. Because he smiles so much. He smiles so much.
He's the only son of your parents?
Yeah, he is. He's the only son.
So you are the only child now?
No, we are two left. He has a younger sister, and I am his elder sister.
How is your mom?
She's better. She's getting better. She's getting better.
When the news came,
yeah,
how did she react?
Okay, when the news came, when she got the news, she was actually rushed to a hospital because she had IBP instantly. So they had to rush her down because they were like, if anything happened to her at that moment, it's very possible she dies too that very moment. So they had to rush her down and admit her.
How has the company reacted?
Okay. At first, when the news came, when we heard the news, they actually had this nonchalant attitude because the day it happened, I was there. There was no one there to attend to us. There was no one there to tell what was happening. So there's this nonchalant attitude of, okay, it's not the first. I feel they felt, okay, they are going to go about it the usual way they have been doing. So they didn't expect the matter is actually going to escalate to this point. The attitude they gave was a very nonchalant one, like it's not the first time incidents would be happening, and yes, it's not the first time they would actually be getting over it. So they felt, okay, it's a regular death, it's just a boy, and I don't know. But then their attitude was a very bad one, a very, very bad one.
Moshood Adewale, what is ASCAP pushing for?
One, the circumstances behind the death of Richard needs to be investigated, because when we heard about it in the newspaper, I felt so bad that something like that happened in 2002, where 14 workers died in Lagos due to factory problem like this too. And in the year 2019, one Mr. Femi Olatunde died in a factory too, when his head got stuck in a machine. And 2 days later, one Sunday, Mr. Sunday also died by falling inside a hot melting pot. So, and nothing has been done about it. Now we heard about Richard's death. I think, is this how we are going to continue? ASCAP think something needs to be done. This needs to stop.
Segun, look at some of these industries, because in your write-up, you accused the foreign companies of coming to Nigeria, Ibadan, take advantage of workers, plunge them into crisis and misery. Why did you take such a hard position?
Well, I think the reasons why I said that they're not far-fetched actually. Even considering the tales of woes we've always heard from Oliole Industries and industries around Oliole, and then so many other factories spread across Ibadan. I could remember, let me just digress a bit. I could remember some few years ago on this same platform, you brought some guys from one company, BAT, like 3 of them, whose lives have been almost, in fact, according to the narration, I want to be very careful. According to the narration, some of the guys, some of the colleagues of these guys, some have died already, and some were already battling with the same condition that killed one of their colleagues and these are things they got contracted in the place of work. These foreigners, I want to believe some of them, while setting out in their country, in their several respective countries, coming down to Nigeria, I believe some of them must have had this welfarist agenda. But on getting to Nigeria, they become something else. You now begin to wonder that, okay, these XYZ companies that operate in Nigeria, who also has this so and so plant in different parts of Europe and Asia, do they operate this same way?
When you go to Rome, you behave like the Romans.
Well, that is...
Your government, are they better than the foreign companies in the way citizens are treated?
Well, they may not have set the pace for quality and good leadership, but at least they should be bound by that best practices.
Best practices are enforced by regulators.
Okay.
So when there is a regulator that is ineffective, how do you keep to best practices? Because the state is ineffective. You can see the poverty in the land.
For real, yeah.
So do we now expect the foreign companies to treat us better? Moshood Adewale, come in here.
Exactly, you have a point, but let me say something here. If a Nigerian has a company in US, we must follow the instruction to the letter. Although I understand that in Nigeria here, the regulatory bodies are not up and doing, but this is the right time for us to set the record straight. This is the right time we need to visit all these factories and make sure the working environment is conducive for our people.
I know NLC is part of ASCAP.
Yes, exactly. Yesterday, we were there together at the burial, at the cemetery where they buried Richard. And I had conversation with the new NLC chairman. He felt so bad. And we unanimously agreed that something has to be done because he's also involved in this struggle.
What was the burial like yesterday?
Oh, it was very disheartening. People were crying. I couldn't help it. I cried too. Very disheartening, sir.
Adesewa, what was his dream?
Well, he planned on becoming a musician. He's studying German specifically. So he planned on singing with German. So becoming a musician, but singing strictly with German. That's his major dream. And that he planned on, because he has actually started writing out some lyrics. He had a lyrics book. So he had started writing out some things, putting some things in place. So his whole attention was focused on, okay, as soon as they resume this section, is going to start doing some things. It's going to start some things from there.
You want to join the discussion? We are discussing the sad event that happened to Richard Gbadebo, a young Nigerian student who went to work in order to prepare the future. He did not come home.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Obilo.
Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Michael, calling from Ibadan.
Okay, Michael, make your point.
Yes, I just want to contribute a few to the ongoing issue. You see, I can only tell you that we should not really blame those foreigners. Why did I say this? If you do your findings and your checkings, you will discover that most of these foreigners really really follow the rules. But I can tell you that the Nigerians that are representing them are the main problems. If you do your findings properly, the Nigerians heading those companies, the GM and co, they are the one flaunting the rules and causing all these problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling the radio station. Richard Gbadebo is no more. But what does his death represent? What do you see in the death of a young man who went to a factory to protect the future? His story has been written. He did not die in vain. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Obilo. I'm Biola calling from Lalata. You see, on the issue of Richard, the things need to be done as expected, sir. You see, that is why young Nigerians are dying without any consideration. You see, those factories, that was how they do it. And it's using their fault. That is what our government in Nigeria are doing. You see, as you said earlier, when you are in a room, you behave like a Roman. Our government needs to do things, good things. They need to eradicate some things so that strangers will know what to do. Please, justice needs to be done about Richard's death, please.
Thank you. Thank you for calling the radio station. How's your dad?
It's good, sir. It's good.
Is he feeling like the man in the house?
That's obviously not possible. But he's getting himself back. He's getting himself back on track.
Does he still smile?
Well, I think probably when I get home, I would see the smile on his face, because up to today, I haven't seen him smile or laughed. He has always been moody, crying, and whole.
Segun, what should Sheyi Makinde be thinking now?
Well, just like I said earlier, I want to commend him for quality leadership ever since this tragic event occurred. And I know there's been so many investigations ongoing. And I think going forward, there should be away from the way we've been doing things. Because I can tell you, some of the regulators, not that they don't get to hear some of these stories oozing out from these factories. They get to hear them. They see. And sometimes they visit those places. And before you know what's happening, by the time so many things happen, by the time money exchanges hands, sometimes everything will just die and fizzle out naturally, just like we've been used to. You know, and you now begin to get this feeling, and with this attitude, these foreigners begin to get this sense of, well, by the time we throw some money to this problem, everything dies off. As a matter of urgency, I want every concerned regulator should be alive to their duties. Governor Seyi Makinde should, as a matter of fact, as a matter of urgency, he should please. I want to appeal to his conscience. He's a father. I want to appeal to his conscience to make sure they set up a very strong committee that will periodically visit these places, so that by the time matters of this happens, they take it up. Then at the same time too, they should involve professionals in this body, in this committee, whatever that is going to be set up, to make sure that they go through the safety aspect of the safety ingredients that goes with working in these industries. Because we can't continue to have all these stories over and over and over and over. It does not make any sense.
Adesewa, what is the family demanding for?
The family is demanding for justice. We just want to see, we want the factory to release a CCTV footage of what really happened. They claimed not to have it. They said their CCTV isn't working in a factory. So we don't know how possible or how that can be. A standard factory like that should say they don't have a CCTV footage of what really happened. So we want them to actually release the footage. We want to see how it actually happened. So, because if they don't, they said they want to avoid future occurrence of such. If you don't really know what really happened, if you don't know how it happened, how then do you want to prevent the future occurrence of such? So we just want them to release the footage, and then we can go ahead from there.
Moshood, is there suspicion of a foul play?
Yes, looking at the circumstances that surround the death of Richard, I suspect there is a foul play. And ASCAP suspect there is a foul play somewhere, because this is a machine that is being operated by like 8 to 10 people. How did it happen that it was only Richard that was there? He was trapped in the machine between the hour of 6 a.m. and it was being released at around 12 p.m. Where were those people that were supposed to be there with him? And where was the supervisor that was attached to the machine to be supervising the workers?
Let me even ask Adesewa, did he ever tell you he was a machine operator at the factory?
He told me he was, but actually it wasn't when he started, because when he started, he was a packer.
Okay.
So sometimes when he gets back, he could just tell me, okay, he actually handled the machine today, and I tell him to be very careful with them. Like, it's not as if he has any formal training.
And for such a young man, he cannot be with the machine alone.
Yes, exactly.
There must be a supervisor.
There must be a supervisor. In fact, according to our findings at ASCAP, we learned that there are supposed to be 2 supervisors monitoring the activities of the workers. There are supposed to be 4 operators working with him, even though he's not a machine operator. He was not appointed as an operator. He applied as a packer. Eventually, they showed him how to operate the machine. And through the investigation, we discovered that there was no appointment letter given to those people. So they have a way of bringing people in without proper documentation. So there must be a foul play somewhere.
And even ASCAP through Abub Chambers has raised observations on the post-mortem report dated 4th August 2020. This is a document from ASCAP. It reads, "We have been briefed and our services retained by the family of late Richard Gbadebo, as well as the Alliance on Surviving COVID-19 and Beyond ASCAP Oyo State Chapter, and international lawyers assisting Workers Network, Nigeria Chapter, with presence in 58 countries of the world, all of whom are hereinafter referred to as our clients, on whose behalf and instructions we write this letter to register our clients' observations on the post-mortem report of cause of death of late Richard Gbadebo, dated 4th of August 2020, and signed by Dr. C.A. Okolo, a consultant pathologist. The observations relating to the 4th paragraph of the said post-mortem report under subsection entitled Clinical Summary The said fourth paragraph states that following the discovery of his body, partially grinded in the machine, he was taken to Adoyo Hospital, Ibadan, where he was confirmed dead. The body was subsequently embalmed. It is false to say that the body of late Richard Gbadebo was taken to Adoyo Hospital. This document reads that in truth, the body was never taken to Adoyo Hospital at any point in time. Rather, the corpse of Richard Gbadebo was taken to a private hospital named Teju Hospital at Ring Road, Ibadan. Yes, there's more to come out from this story. Richard Gbadebo worked with Henkel Nigeria Limited. He died in the factory. How do you feel?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, my name is Okechukwu. I'm calling from Iwo Road.
All right, okay. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, sir, I'm so happy. I'm so saddened about this Richard case, but I want to report a case that happened around, it should be late March or earlier April this year at Sweetco. I was a worker there during that time. 4 guys died at the company that day. I couldn't remember the date, and that was how the case just went down like that. Please, I want you guys to investigate the story. It happened around March, late March or early April at Sweetco that is at Dubai there. I was a worker there, but I don't work with them anymore. I was a packer there with them, but I don't work with them anymore. So that is it. I've been trying to get you, but luckily today I got you on this type of matter. I'm so happy. Please investigate it. 4 people. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for calling the radio station.
They fell into a diesel tank or something like that, underground diesel tank. That was because of their death. To investigate, please.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling the radio station. The lines are open. Add your voice to the matter. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Edmund. Yeah, please, just permit me to be an anonymous caller.
Make your point.
Okay. Honestly, Mr. Edmund, the death of Richard is really quite unfortunate. It's really quite unfortunate, and we sympathize with the family. But however, you asked a very pertinent question that I would want to answer. He said, what does the death of Richard represent? Well, I would want to say that the death of Richard represents the failure of the Nigerian state. Why am I saying this? We have our government that is not doing the needful. Fine. Probably investigations are being carried out as to what really caused death. However, I want to say that we really have to call on our government to do things that would help to alleviate the suffering masses. People are suffering. If you listen very well, or if you do further investigation, you will discover that the mother of the boy also works there. Fine, I listened to the sister who said he was working there just to while away time and all that, probably due to the COVID-19 holiday that probably everybody is staying at home now. But I would want to say that our government should please do the needful, take care of its citizens, and make sure that no matter what, people have something doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Adesewa, your mom works there?
Yes, sir, she does.
She still works there?
Not anymore.
Why?
Well, she has to stop because of the situation of things there. Yeah.
How do you feel about Nigeria?
I don't want to say I have actually lost hope in Nigeria. I think we should still be hopeful. But then, we really need interventions in Nigeria. It doesn't seem like, the way it is now, it doesn't seem like there is hope for us in Nigeria. The government have failed us. And really, the government have actually failed the youth. Because they claim we are the future of tomorrow. We are the leaders of tomorrow. But really, if the youth now presently are dying, and before the future comes, the youth are all dead, I wonder what will be left of Nigeria. But really, Nigeria needs divine intervention. We need good people. We need people. And we just need honest people in Nigeria.
Didn't your brother's death motivate you to be an agent of change?
Well, probably when I see the way things, the way the matter unfolds, then I would actually know if I should still be hopeful in Nigeria. Because as it is now, presently, I think it's just my body here in Nigeria. My whole mind and everything is completely out of Nigeria.
You are a student of the University of Ibadan.
Yes, I am.
You are studying agricultural extension and rural development.
Yes, sir.
You are going to school, you mean after acquiring this knowledge, your heart will be out of Nigeria. You break my heart.
Nigeria broke my heart too.
Okay. But Nigeria will heal your pain.
Oh.
Tell your mom that everything will be fine. That the Nigeria of today will be different from the one I see. And you get ready to be an agent of change to honor the memory of your brother. Yes, she cries in the studio. Let her cry. You know, sometimes it is good to cry. Adesewa can cry. Yeah. And you at home, you can cry. You know, sometimes we should cry. Are you there? You want to join the discussion? The lines are open. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Obilo.
Yes, good morning.
This is Adesewa speaking from Segun.
Good to have you on State Affairs.
Thank you very much, sir. What I would like to say is the issue of health is that Nigeria, we are our problem. The first caller, I comply with the comment in which he made that the Western organization, the international organization that owns the World Company, usually there is much tendency that they are actually complying with the rules that actually regulate the labor of people that are actually working with them. Just that the Nigerians that actually represent them here in Nigeria, they actually enforcing those things, putting those things in place. And as a result of that, it's exposing the lives of the people in danger. So what I would like to say is that our government actually needs more to do, because we cannot just be looking at our youth at this time in this kind of situation. Some people are not dying of hunger again. People are not dying of the disaster of COVID-19, but it's getting to work, looking for livelihood, how to survive.
Thank you. I think I should intervene here because another caller has raised the same point. That don't blame the owners of the company, of the companies. Blame Nigerians working there. Yes, you might be right to some point, but for me, there's more to it. You see, when the colonialists came from Europe, who did they use to oppress Africa? What they do is that they set up the structure and they enlist the locals to run the structures of oppression. When the colonialists came, remember they were few in number, but they came with their guns. So European industrialists don't come with guns, but they come with capital. So with capital, they acquire land and labor, then set up the structures to deploy labor. Then labor will then extract on behalf of the capitalist. In this sense, the brutal capitalist. The point I'm making is that if the Nigerian army is not doing well, stop blaming Buratai. Blame Buhari. The buck stops on Buhari's table. So the buck stops on the ownership of these companies that have set up the structures to exploit the system. And that is why the state, the role of the state, remember the Nigerian constitution states it clearly that the role of the state is the welfare and security of the people. So that is where the state comes in to regulate the excesses of capital. But what we see now is that capital is now regulating the state. That is why the state has become transactional. So transformative leadership comes to say, no, we will tame capital for the people to be secure and also to guarantee the welfare of the people. And transformative leadership is here. Adesewa will be part of it. What do you want to tell other young boys listening to us now, Adesewa? Young people listening to us, young girls listening to us. Talk to them before you go. I know you feel so bad, but everything good will come.
Okay, I am just going to say we should not lose hope in Nigeria. We should keep working and praying. We should keep up the hard work and praying. One day it's going to pay off.
Moshood Adewale, ASCAB will not leave this matter until it gets to the final point.
ASCAB will not relent until we get justice for family of Richard. Because if we all keep quiet like this, it will still continue. So I believe with the death of Richard, something tangible has to be done.
Tell us more about ASCAB.
ASCAB comprises of organizations that fight for the human rights, and it comprises of lawyers and individuals who are interested in the betterment of our nation. So, and we have the support of International Lawyers Network and other prominent Nigerians.
Femi Falana is the interim national chairman.
Yes, exactly, sir.
Segun Adesokan.
Yeah, Obilo.
Tell me about BANY.
BANY simply means better agenda for Nigerian youth. The situation in Nigeria is, I won't say it's hopeless, depending on our approach and depending on how we react to the matter, to several state matters. And I think at this point in our life, we owe humanity that sense of duty by standing up for those who may not have the clout or the strength or charisma to be able to fight for themselves. We owe ourselves that duty by making sure we live in a society whereby the good of all is preserved.
Thank you, Segun Adesokan, for featuring on State Affairs.
Thank you for having me.
Segun Adesokan is the founder of Youth Focused Civil Society called BANY, Better Agenda for Nigerian Youth. Moshood Adewale, thank you for coming this morning.
I'm very happy. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak to Nigerians on behalf of the family of Richard.
Moshood Adewale is a member of the Alliance for Surviving COVID-19 and Beyond, ASCAB. Adesewa Gbadebo, thank you for coming.
Thank you too, sir. Thanks for receiving us. Thanks for letting people know too about this. Thanks for your effort too in making sure the justice is being served.
Please send our condolences to your family.
All right, sir.
That will feel their pain.
Thank you, sir.
And we assure them we will follow the case to the last point.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Fellow Nigerians, the time to fly has come. The time to move Nigeria to the point of abundance has come. Friends, in times of hardship, open your eyes. Those who built America did not fall from the sky. Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore was born by a woman like me. I was born by my mother. Abraham Lincoln did not come to this world with 9 heads. Like they built their countries, we will build our country. Richard Gbadebo's name will be written on the wall of honor, and we will impose the wall where the world can see. He did not die in vain. He represents the strength of the future. And people like that don't die, they only depart. Richard Gbadebo, rest in peace.
Some glad morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.